Welcome to the Mukilteo Football Show. My name is Miles. I'm Kirk.
I'm Dawn. I'm Miles and Kirk's dad. It's going to call me Dad.
Calling him Dad. And we are live from Super Bowl Radio Row. Actually, we're in our house.
Yeah.
We are not live from the Radio Row, but that's almost good. You don't want to listen to a bunch of people preview Super Bowl 57 who've talked to the players and the coaches. Talk about biased sources.
I know. You need it fresh from a couple, a little family out here in Washington.
That's where you come.
Yeah.
That's where you come. You get the most undiluted analysis. We are previewing one thing and one thing only today, Super Bowl 57 between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Kansas City Chiefs. Got the 1 seeds in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
It's
pretty rare.
It's a goodie.
I like when the 1 seeds are in the Super Bowl. It's always a good game, too. I think Seahawks Patriots was one that we had. Colts.
Were they both 1 seeds?
I think they were both 1 seed. Colts Saints when it was Breeze Peyton.
That was a good one, yeah. Didn't finish the way I wanted, but
you were rooting for the Colts.
I'm a Manning fan, so yeah.
Well,
but that was a destiny year for the Saints.
That interception for the city of New Orleans will forever be one of the great Super Bowl moments. Porter.
Worst pass Peyton Manning's ever thrown.
And it was Reggie Wayne just standing there.
Yeah.
What the heck did you just do?
Just miscommunication.
It wasn't good.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk some news real quickly here, and then we'll just get into the game. We're going to talk about when the Chiefs, talk the Eagles. When the Chiefs have the ball, the Eagles have the ball. Just cover it all. Everything except for the Rihanna halftime show, and we can cover that if you'd like.
No, we can skip that.
Yeah, prop bet, common prop bet. What color will Rihanna's shoes be?
Interesting.
Or what color will her hair be? Both.
Shoes and hair.
I say purple and purple. Anyway.
Matching shoes with the hair. I like it.
So some news has been going on in the last 2 weeks. The number one news of which is that Derek Carr is pretty much a free agent. He is been allowed to shop trades. There's been kind of controversy about whether or not he could do it for a while.
Yeah.
Where does he play next year? Where does Derek Carr play next year?
I think he's going to go to Carolina. For some reason, I just kind of got that weird feeling that Frank Reich's going to bring him in. Another veteran quarterback plays for Frank Reich and falls off the face of the earth.
Yeah, I went through all the teams that are probably going to need a quarterback and just crossed out the ones that are in the top, because they're going to draft one, right? So I thought Tampa Bay. They need a quarterback, so
and we're going NFC South. Yeah.
I know,
but here's one for you: a long shot.
Okay,
strange trade where Devontae Adams and Derek Carr go to Baltimore.
Whoa. For Lamar
Jackson.
Oh.
Ooh. What do you think?
Ooh, that'd be like NBA trade deadline type stuff.
That's just too weird. No, it's not going to happen.
Dad's got something cooking here.
I like it. Lamar Jackson on a new team would be a nice twist. Ooh, Lamar would be a great Raider.
Yeah, he'd be perfect for that team.
I would love that.
Right. We'll talk to the GMs. We'll get
GMs.
it done.
I mean, presumably they're all in Phoenix with us right now at Radio Row.
Yeah.
I was thinking Jets. Jets.
Yeah.
That if I was Derek Carr, that's where I'd want to go.
Yeah, me too.
Like, I don't think we really understand how bad Zach Wilson really was.
He's awful.
All of our hope in Mike White is misplaced, I think.
Yeah, that last game, not good.
Yeah. No. Me personally, I got the Jets going all out for Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, me too.
Ooh, that's what I'm thinking.
I don't know if they're going to get him, but
I think.
See, I thought Rodgers was going to the Raiders.
Okay, so we're all
replacing Carr.
Okay, got the same amount of teams here in the pool. Baltimore's the wild card.
I love the quarterback carousel. It's always fun, but as we learned this year, it doesn't always matter. No one cared about Deshaun Watson on the Browns. No one cared about Russell Wilson on the Broncos.
That's right.
Well, they did in the offseason.
I know, but once the season got going, like we were all hyped for the carousel, and then it didn't even matter.
Broncos country.
Yeah, so the Broncos country. Let's ride. Sean Payton comes to the Denver Broncos to be the new coach. Can he save Russell Wilson?
Yes, by putting him out of his misery. I don't think Russell's going to ever be
taking that horse out back.
The quarterback that he once was. There's just too much scrutiny on him now, and he can't see over the dang offensive line.
I think he'll do something with him. He's got experience with shorter quarterbacks. He'll find a way to use Russell, but Russell's not going to cook. I don't think it's going to be that. I'm thinking Peyton brings in Kamara somehow. That might help.
I like that.
What do you think of that?
I like that. But
Alvin.
Russell's just not, I don't know. I just don't see Sean Payton working with Russell very well. I just don't. I don't see it.
It hasn't started well.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way.
Yeah. Well, I just don't think. I don't know. I got all sorts of skepticism on that. So
now this is going way back, but we do have a sample size of Drew Brees without Sean Payton, and it was nothing special at all.
Yeah,
like he was just medium quarterback. Sean Payton made that as much as Drew Brees did. I think it is possible because Russell Wilson didn't accidentally throw 227 or 327 touchdowns or whatever he did with the Seahawks, including playoffs. Like, it wasn't an accidental decade. There's got to be something there.
No, it was all accident. Like every one of them.
The randomness of life.
We're calling Russell Wilson Drew Brees here, though. I'm just like, I don't know. I mean, they're not really the same.
They're definitely not the same player.
Brees gets the ball out of his hands quick. Like, Russell is just lollygagging. Every single offensive line he has takes the blame for him holding on to the ball too dang long. So
unless a lot last year,
unless Sean Payton can bring in a Kamara or figure out how to get Russell Wilson to just do a simple, quick check down, I don't know what he's going to pull off with him.
What I do love is that this is a win-win for Sean Payton.
Oh, yeah.
Either he gets Russell Wilson to play well and he's a genius, or Russell Wilson doesn't play well and it's a free pass. Sean Payton, like, what do you expect me to do? This guy, if I was Sean Payton, and if I had the power right now, because Russell Wilson has been humbled, he has to have been humbled.
You'd hope so.
Has to be. If he hasn't, then that's a problem. I would say trim down. Quit. Get off the milkshakes. Get off your protein shakes. Stop bulking up for hits. You lost your mobility, and that is the problem. We watched Russell Wilson for so long. When he was mobile, he was special.
Yeah, it needs to be quicker.
It needs to be quick. They need to be rolling him out, actually be able to use them in the play action, bootlegs and stuff. But, he hasn't been that guy for 5 years.
Yeah. Any other coaching hires excite you guys? We had D'Amico Ryans to the Texans, Frank Reich to the Panthers. Colts are sure to hire Jim Irsay's drinking buddy Jeff Saturday soon, I'm sure.
God, I hope not.
God almighty.
He better not. I like D'Amico Ryans in Houston. Houston has no expectations. D'Amico Ryans is a good defensive coordinator. He's going to start from there. AFC South sucks. I mean, the Titans are falling apart, and the Jags are kind of, getting the hype. And I can see the Texans being good in a couple seasons. And they got the first pick. Or wait, they got the second pick. Their own dang fault.
They won that last game.
Lovie Smith's one last, FU. But I like the Texans. I like D'Amico Ryans. I think he'll pull something off.
Carolina, yes. This is a good pick. Houston, I got a note down here that Houston should go to the XFL. So.
You just wait. It's going to be Jags and Texans here.
I think D'Amico Ryans is a popular guy in the locker room, but defensive coaches, they just need to get out of the league or start coaching like offensive coaches. Don't punt it on 4th and 1. Don't trust your defense. Your defense sucks because all defenses suck now. That's just how the NFL is.
Yeah, I think
that's my take.
I think D'Amico Ryan's is smarter than an average defensive coordinator.
He could be.
And hopefully he hires a good offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
So
All right. Well, we want to get into the game here. Let's start talking some Chiefs. Let's start talking some Eagles.
Super Bowl.
And whenever the Super Bowl comes up, I start thinking about legacy. It all matters so much. Just every little bounce of the ball could change a legacy. Say Joe Montana doesn't win that Super Bowl or throws that pick to the Bengals in 1988.
Yeah.
His legacy is totally different. Not even really for anything different. He still threw the exact same throws.
Yep.
That's what I love about it, though. And Andy Reid is on that precipice here. Andy Reid has got one Super Bowl with all these wins. Maybe not entirely his fault, but he has got to get this win. And I guess the question is Andy Reid already a top 10 coach of all time?
In my head, yes. Without doing the
list. So so the list, you got to say, well, who are you taking out, right?
Yeah, right.
The list that I found was Paul Brown, George Halas, Curly Lambeau, the creator early guys, then the dynasty guys, Vince Lombardi, Don Shula, Chuck Noll, Tom Landry, Bill Walsh, Joe Gibbs, Bill Parcells, Bill Belichick. Man. So who goes out for Andy Reid, or does Andy Reid need the Super Bowl to get in? What do you think, Dad?
I think he's a top 10. I mean, look what he's done. I mean, when he came to Philadelphia, changed that team. He was great. They've never lost. Have they had a losing record in Kansas City? No.
I don't think so.
They've been a win. He is just great. I mean, he's a great coach. I would throw out Curly Lambeau. I know the Green Bay people are going to be mad at me for that one, but
someone just threw their cheese to the ground.
I know, and it's going to sound even worse because I just think the era that Lambeau was in was just football just wasn't as advanced as it is today. I mean, to do what Andy Reid is doing in this modern day of football is just amazing.
Yeah.
I'd put him way up there. So
because there's not many modern. I mean, besides Belichick there. But Andy Reid's made it to so many championship games.
Yeah.
I mean, he's lost a lot of them, especially with Philly. But, man,
he's made 9.
Yeah. 9 championship games. Yeah. That's incredible.
Yeah. If they're just going to look at Super Bowls, he's got to win this. But I wouldn't. I mean, how many did Shula win? Did he win that many Super Bowls?
2.
2, yeah.
2, yeah.
2, and then
lost a couple important ones.
Couple decades of nothing. So.
He did.
Shula ruined Dan Marino.
Yeah,
he did.
It's Don Shula's fault that Dan Marino doesn't have a ring. That's a whole nother podcast.
It took a long time to get to that realization, but it is true.
I'm taking off Shula then. Just for that, I think
number 1.
I think he's got. the most wins.
Yeah,
like as an NFL coach, but that's because he coached for 4 decades.
He did.
Yeah,
coached forever.
Yeah.
I'm taking off Joe Gibbs already. Like, Joe Gibbs, first of all, the 1982 Super Bowl does not count.
Strike year.
It's like a 9-game season. I hate when people say he won 3 Super Bowls with three different quarterbacks. Like, well, one of them was just happenstance.
Yeah,
it was like week 10 in the NFL, and they just awarded a Super Bowl winner, basically. I think Gibbs. I also agree with Dad. Lambeau probably should pop out of there.
Okay.
The complexity that it takes to do it nowadays puts Andy Reid there. So I guess the drama is kind of lost. We're not saying Andy Reid needs to win on Sunday to get this achievement.
Not to me.
Yeah, and this is his 4th Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, I guess it's not going to hurt if he loses. I mean, it's certainly going to propel him up the list if he wins.
Yeah.
But
if he wins, he's definitely in.
Having only 1 Super Bowl kind of is a knock on his name right now. But, I mean, you can't fault the guy. I mean, he puts team after team out there, and they're winning football games again and again and again.
You kind of talk legacy, and I was talking about how unfair it is. But if he loses to the Eagles... having been the Eagles coach for so long, bringing them to 4 title games, losing to the Patriots in that 04 Super Bowl.
Yeah, something like that.
Reid losing to the Eagles in the Super Bowl will be more memorable 20 years from now than if he had lost to the 49ers or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
It's not fair. That's legacy, though. That's legacy, baby.
That is legacy.
The other topic I wanted to talk about the Chiefs, Mahomes is in this game. He's the passing leader for the season, for the 2022 NFL season. No passing yards leader has ever won the Super Bowl, which is amazing to me considering how much of a quarterback league this is. Last guy with a chance was 2017 Brady, lost to the Eagles. 2013 Peyton, lost to the Seahawks.
Yeah.
2007 Brady, lost to the Giants. In 2001, Kurt Warner lost to the Patriots. So those are the 4 other chances in this century.
Wow.
We also had Marino in 84 lose to the 49ers. But can Mahomes do it? Or is there something about it that just precludes you?
There's just some sort of stigma on it, some sort of curse. I don't know what it is, but it's kind of like I've been doing this for MVPs. If you win the MVP, you're not winning the Super Bowl for some reason. And there's been, I think, 9 people since Kurt Warner in 99 that have been MVPs, made it to the Super Bowl, and lost on some awesome teams. But I'm a Patrick Mahomes believer. I think that ankle's healed up a little bit. The 2 weeks off certainly helps. And, we've all seen the throws that he can make. Mm-hmm. So if anybody can do it, I think it's Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
God, what a start.
I don't know. I just kind of look at, the moment that I realized that, the amazing passer wasn't going to be an automatic win in the Super Bowl was Marino in 84. It was just, 48 touchdowns, over 5,000 yards, 16-game season. I sat there and watched that game. I'm going, why is Miami not winning this game? It's Marino. But, there's no guarantee that the leading passer has got a good D or good running game or anything. So I think, just having passing isn't going to do it, and that's what it is, So
the old cliche is defense wins championships.
Well,
yeah.
So, and that started somewhere, probably at the Marino game.
Probably at the Marino game. That was 84 against the 49ers, right, Dad?
It was, yeah. And, I did not think anybody could beat Marino. He just threw it,
Dude had a rocket for an arm, but
3 touchdowns a game, 300 yards a game. It was just like, how do you stop that? Well,
you have Don Shula as your coach, number 11 on the all-time list of coaches.
Bill Walsh out-coached him. I will say that.
Bill Walsh out-coached him, absolutely.
But they were just a more balanced team. That was all there was to it.
I think, and I do think that it's a team sport is what we're talking about here.
Yeah.
And you can't just win the Super Bowl off of this.
No.
But for it to have not happened in 56 previous Super Bowls, I just thought that was strange. I guess sometimes, now that I'm saying that, sometimes the passing yards leader is like not even a good quarterback. Like what Matt Schaub was it one year. Jeff George was one year. Roethlisberger was like in his 2018 Roethlisberger.
Yeah.
So no, I guess it makes sense.
But you do have some good ones that should have done it.
Should have done it.
You had Marinos and Peyton Manning, and Brady had it a few years, and it's
Marino and Manning are the 2 most amazing examples, right?
Yeah.
I actually, we're Seahawk fans. Didn't you kind of worry that?
Yeah.
55 touchdowns or whatever he had.
Yep. 2013
before the game, and then when the ball flew by his head, I was like, "We got this."
2013, all those numbers that Peyton threw. Remember, he had a 3rd-string center. No one cares. 55 touchdowns.
Yeah,
it's like, geez.
You got Peyton Manning. You had to realize that's a threat, but. Absolute beatdown.
Let's pivot over to Philadelphia here. Back after a 5-year layoff, 2017 Super Bowl win. They plummeted to the nadir. They were a bottom 4 team in the 2020 season after they fired Doug Peterson. They were a joke. And now here they are back.
5 years later, completely different team.
Completely different team. But will history see it that way? Don't you wonder, they'll just kind of...
They got to. There's hardly any players from that team. Hardly anybody. There's just defensive players and a few offensive linemen.
Right.
It's a completely different thing. To me, history has got to show that, but there's always some schmuck that just looks at it and goes, "Oh yeah, Eagles were a dynasty for these 5 years."
Yep. Who do you think wins in a hypothetical game between the 2017 Eagles and the 2022 Eagles?
2022 for me. I just think this is a really balanced Eagles team. not a Foles fan. So I just I just don't think it
Still
was gonna
can't be a
happen.
Foles fan.
Yeah, I know.
agree.
The guy threw all those yards in the Super Bowl, still gets no credit. But yeah, I'd say this year's Eagles team is better than that 2017 team.
Mine too. It's all about Foles. I mean, no drama here, but if he could have backed it up with like one good game after the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
He's been in the league for 5 years.
And that's pretty much the only difference. The defenses are both good.
Yes.
I mean, they're different, but you're just picking apples and oranges at that point.
Well, Philadelphia deserves this, according to NBC Sports and the Wall Street Journal. They called Philadelphia the best sports city. Do you agree with that?
Just like this year, or just period?
I think just in the moment. I think,
Man.
not necessarily talking about the team's success. They're
the
talking about
fans.
the fans. Yeah,
Man,
I know. I went and looked at all the cities, and I couldn't find a better one. I think Boston's pretty close, but Philly, I'll go with that.
yeah.
For amazing, but yeah.
I'd say between Boston and Philly, you could throw New York in there, but they play their games in New Jersey, so it's kind of hard. You know what? I'd probably say Boston's a little bit more, but Philly is like, you gotta love them.
Yeah.
They're just mean to their teams, but they still go out and support them. Even when the Sixers were doing terrible, they're like, trust the process. They're still out there booing their team, but they're still showing up to boo them.
Hey,
Like,
that's true. They're still
only
buying.
they're going 10-72, and they're still showing up to games. It's a miracle. Like, that happens in Miami. Nobody's there.
It's definitely not Los Angeles.
Definitely not. Yeah.
But I kind of think New York should be pissed about this.
New York?
Like, if the Knicks were good, any whiff of the Knicks being good is a massive deal.
Oh,
when
yeah.
the Yankees or Giants are good. If the Jets were in the Super Bowl, we would be on pandemonium light. There would be Jet station wagons driving down the street with lights on. The Jets are in the Super Bowl. The Jets are in the Super
Yeah.
Bowl. Like, I just think when New York is hot, they're just so down right now. Not going great for Brooklyn right now, the Brooklyn Nets.
I guess that's my problem with New York being on the list as number one is they have two teams in every single big sport.
Yeah, they do.
They got the Giants and the Jets. They got two hockey teams. They got
Yeah.
two basketball teams, two baseball teams. It's just it's a little much.
Yeah.
You might want to throw Dallas on the list, but I don't think they're number one. But Dallas supports their teams pretty damn. Those Texans, man, like
What? Seattle does too. I think the only thing keeping us out of there is we don't have a basketball team.
exactly.
With basketball, I would have put us up
Yeah.
there.
With Supersonics, man. Bring back the Supersonics.
absolutely
Supersonic.
get it done.
Trade Kevin Durant to the Supersonics right now.
Finish your career where
Even though there's no
Where you belong.
Supersonics.
Yeah.
Get over here.
he's making his way over to the West
Yeah,
Coast.
he
So.
is. Slowly but surely.
All right. We ready to talk the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
Super Bowl 57. I guess we've been talking the Super Bowl. Let's talk the game. The game itself. When the Chiefs have the ball, when the Eagles have the ball. I've got some over-unders for us here to kind of facilitate the discussion. And let's start when the Pat Mahomes, Travis Kelce, Isaiah Pacheco, Kansas City Chiefs are on the field. Eagles defense facing them. Fletcher Cox, Darius Slay, James Bradbury.
Yep.
Now, here's a couple prop bets. Mahomes pass touchdowns 1.5.
Oh, I am over.
Over?
1.5. I just couldn't believe that. Is
Yeah.
that really true? 1.5 is the line there?
Yeah. Well, he had 2 in Super Bowl 54 against the Buccaneers, or against the 49ers, and none in Super Bowl 55 against the Buccaneers. So he's averaged 1.
He had no line against the Buccaneers. So.
True.
I'm over.
You're over?
Yeah, I'm
Saints
over.
gets that second touchdown?
Yeah.
I'm saying 3.
3? Okay, so
But all I gotta say is over. So 2. But
I feel like this would be higher if it wasn't for the ankle.
Yeah.
know-
Something's keeping it low. That's ridiculous, for Mahomes.
Yeah, I'd probably go the over as well. I could see like some running performance that takes away from him
Yeah.
in this game. Something surprising that Andy Reid's got up his sleeve, but the ankle is definitely definitely holding this back.
That holding the number down.
Yeah, holding the number down.
He's got to throw at least 2.
They're just going to run Pacheco for 200 yards, Miles.
I think that'd be awesome.
Yeah. I mean,
it's not Andy Reid. I just don't see it. Yeah.
the Pacheco rush yard over under is 52.5. Over under on that.
That one's a little closer.
I'm over on almost everything because I think this is going to be a high score. Yeah.
I'll go under.
Under that?
I'll go under. I'll say 51 yards.
Who's going to get the rushing yards for them, Kurt?
I don't think they're going to have to run the ball.
Okay.
And he did. I think Pacheco will play a good part, but he can also do the check downs.
Yeah.
Right? He can. This is rush yards specifically. I'm going to say over on this because of reasons I'll explain later.
Ooh, interesting.
But,
we got a barn burner here.
He's only got one game with 100 yards in his career. He is a rookie.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Pacheco is a hot topic right now. He is
They kind of expecting him to be the X factor, but if I'm the Eagles defense, I'm expecting him to be the X factor. So I could see McKinnon going for more than Pacheco does in this game. I mean,
okay, that's it.
Rush yards specifically.
Wow. Yeah, I don't see Pacheco really getting the ball that much in this game. But that's just me.
Well, let's talk Travis Kelce over under 76.5 yards for Travis Kelce.
Over. Anytime it's Travis Kelce, I just expect him to do well. He's going to kill it.
Mahomes to Kelce is just mind meld stuff. They just know each other. It's an over for me.
It just doesn't matter if you go man, you go in zone. It doesn't matter. Like he's running a route, he's going to adapt to it. Mahomes knows where he's supposed to adapt to. It's unbelievable
he knows
that
exactly
connection.
Where he's going. I don't know how he does it.
It's like, yeah, your route's a post up to the top, and he just sees a little spot over here, and he's like, well, I'm going to turn that way, and ball's in his hands. Like immediately, you're like, what the heck? Like
mind meld is right, Dad. They have something beyond their talents. Dad is doing the Spock mind meld.
Vulcan mind meld.
This has been a historic playoff run for Travis Kelce. He's climbing up the leaderboards for the career touchdowns, career yards. He's now second to only Jerry Rice in career playoff receiving yards.
Wow.
He actually broke a Jerry Rice record. Now, you don't hear a lot of Jerry Rice records get broken.
You don't hear that. Yeah.
Travis Kelce, 17 straight playoff games with 3 receptions.
Ooh.
Rice only had 16 until the 1998 wild card game against the Packers.
Oh, yeah.
And then Rice, of course, had 6 more after that because he's Jerry Rice.
Yeah.
But anytime you're up in this name with Jerry Rice, something's happening.
Yeah. If you're compared to Jerry Rice, you're doing something right.
Travis Kelce is so good. You know what a stat I wish they would talk about more? Total first downs. No one ever talks about that. Who's the guy who got the most first downs? Well, it's Justin Jefferson. But second is Travis Kelce.
Okay, yeah.
And that's important. A 50-yard gain is a 50-yard game, so be it. It could be at any time in the game, to be honest. Getting the most first downs means something. Kelce had 78 first downs. Jefferson 81.
Mahomes just looks for him.
Yeah. And I think Andy Reid is a big part here too. He never accepts that Travis Kelce, they're scheming him out. They will move Kelce out wide. They will move him behind another tight end. They will do whatever they need to do to get Travis Kelce free. They'll never accept that the defense has schemed him out.
Yeah, they'll throw him in motion. They'll send him in that like walking motion that he does sometimes. Where he's just like on the outside, and he's just like walking towards the line, and you're just like, this is so weird. And the next thing you know, he's wide open.
Well, we are a bunch of rubes. We're betting the over on the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. The sports book at the Angel of Winds, Dad, is come on in here. Love us.
I'm gonna have to put in a bet.
You should. Well, you should bet the opposite of what we just
hedge that bet.
Hedge it, and then that way you can be like, hey, listen to me. I said it all right. And then
That's right.
And then you take the money and run.
So obviously the Chiefs, they're going to be able to pass. They have Pat Mahomes, for crying out loud. They have Travis Kelce, for crying out loud. I guess the question is, how much resistance are they going to meet? How good is this Eagles secondary? Because they're kind of untested.
That's kind of the problem for me. The Eagles, just like they haven't been tested, and when they have, they've kind of folded.
Yeah,
like that game against the Cowboys. I know they were playing Garner Minshew, but they gave up 37 points in that game.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, their secondaries is only as good as the pressure they can get on the quarterback up front. It's the Super Bowl. Everybody gets 2 weeks off. This comes back to battle of the trenches, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with you, Kirk. Yeah, I think this secondary is really, really good, but this is the big question: are they good enough to stop Mahomes? That's the question. I don't know. I really don't.
And I think we don't know is a telling thing, though, because it's been, I mean, how many games have they played? Like 20?
Yeah.
Why don't we know? But they're playing Cooper Rush. They're playing Davis Webb, playing Josh Dobbs, Tyler Heineke, right. Davis Mills. The only time they ever played a good quarterback was really Dak Prescott, the game you just mentioned.
That's it.
And they played
every other time it's some backup quarterback or some quarterback that you know is not going to be on that team.
And the timing always worked out. They got Kenny Pickett early in the season. They got Andy Dalton late in the season. They got Matt Ryan in Jeff Saturday's second game. It's always working out perfectly for the Eagles to the point that we are in the Super Bowl. They played a bunch of cupcakes.
Yeah. The best quarterbacks they've played is Dak Prescott and Trevor Lawrence.
And they both did good.
Yeah.
And that was Lawrence like in September, too. Not even good Lawrence.
And I'm like, they got to play the AFC South. The NFC East wasn't really as good as all the records show. But,
Daniel Jones? No Daniel Jones?
No Daniel Jones. Jeez.
Kirk's not going there.
Oh, God. Sad. Just about to drop my mic and get out of here.
Let me play devil's avocado. Let me play devil's advocate, devil's avocado on this for just a moment. They did do what you would expect a good team to do to those cupcakes.
They did.
So we still don't know. Dad's answer is probably the right one. We don't know if the Eagles secondary is good.
Yeah, it might not matter. Maybe they just put so much pressure on Mahomes. He has no time to test that secondary,
And they put pressure.
Yeah.
Hassan Reddick, Josh Sweat, Brandon Graham, Javon Hargrave, all with 10 sacks.
I know.
First time any team has ever had 4 guys with more than 10 sacks.
That is a lot.
Yeah.
So
that number's a little inflated just because they're playing with leads.
Yeah.
But to me, it's like they haven't played anybody really good, and now they have to play the best quarterback in the league. I mean, I can see them being exposed a little bit.
Really?
I can see them being exposed.
And they're good players, though. It's not
they are.
Darius Slay, James Bradbury.
Yeah.
Slay's he peaks in the backfield a little too much.
Yeah.
He's got that Marcus Peters thing going on where he's going to bite on a little short curl and it's a 40-yard bomb.
Interesting.
Slay's he's looking for that turnover rather than just a simple play, but
he could get lulled by. I mean, the Chiefs receivers are banged up, though. It sounds like most of them are going to play.
Yeah,
except for Mecole Hardman.
Yeah, he's out,
which I honestly don't mind. Yeah. Watching the Chiefs in September and October was a tale of watching Pat Mahomes and Mecole Hardman not on the same page, 50 yards down the field.
Yeah,
you don't need them. But Juju is fully practicing. Kadarius Toney, I think, had limited practice, but says he's going to go. The thing about the Chiefs that I didn't realize is that they just set the record for most yards after catch.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
They had, I had the number here somewhere, but it's something like 2,000 or 2,500 yards after catch.
Even with Tariq gone. Huh?
Isn't that crazy?
Wow, that is crazy.
So it's a testament to Mahomes' dink and dunk thing. I don't know if you can even call it dink and dunk. It's just a more controlled, patient offense that they have constructed around this just gauntlet of weapons. Kadarius Toney is a new one, but there's Sky Moore. There's McKinnon, like you mentioned, Kirk.
Yep.
There's 2 other tight ends who catch the ball.
Yeah, they got tons of weapons and nobody to really focus on besides Travis Kelce. And it doesn't matter if you focus on Kelce because he's going to get open anyways.
Going to get his catches.
Yeah.
Yep.
I like the Chiefs are well-rounded. I like it. I mean, I wasn't expecting them to do this well without Tyreek, but throughout the season, I've been like, this is better now that they don't have Tyreek.
Yeah. I would have never agreed with that before. I thought it was a huge mistake to trade away Tyreek Hill.
Reed and Bieniemy, man, they just put together a scheme. Yeah. I'm telling you, these guys are amazing.
It made them more balanced.
It did.
167 yards after catch per game.
Whoa.
Man. Yeah. It doesn't feel like that.
My head just goes to that one where Mahomes throws that little flip pass to McKinnon for 80 yards, and you're just
that's part of this.
You're like, good
That's part
Lord.
of this number.
Yeah, it's little plays like that.
He just tossed that thing like it was a stocking cap or something,
That was such a Brett Favre play. It was just like, oh, God, what are you doing? And it's perfect.
That was a Brett Favre.
It worked.
That was a Brett Favre. Before we get over to the Eagles side of the ball, just talking kind of the other side here. If the Eagles do surprise us, it seems like pass rush is the way to do it.
Yeah,
Pass
giving
rush
you
is
my
the way to do
answer.
it.
Now,
Yeah.
giving you my answer. I think they're going to get to him.
Yeah, and he's not moving that well.
See, I think he's going to be moving better.
You do?
3 weeks after the high ankle sprain. What are we? I think it's 3 weeks.
3 weeks since the Jaguars game.
Yeah, and I'm like, this is about the time you start getting that mobility back a little bit.
How surprised were you that he looked like he did against the Bengals on the SAS surprise ankle scale 1 to 10? Did you think he was going to be able to do any running like that?
They made such a good plan with him. They figured out how to get his passes out on whichever foot. Like they got him to roll out and throw off of that one-footed pass. They did it really well, and it's probably they watched some tape of like Aaron Rodgers when he was playing on one leg. Yeah. But
I don't know, that last play where he ran fast. I mean, that's the end of the game.
Right.
You could see he was already limping, right? I mean,
yeah.
And that took some guts. I mean, that just really took some guts. I'm going to give him a 10 for that. I mean, I don't think I've ever seen anybody do that.
Yeah.
And he hit that bench and he got back up. I mean, it was just like, wow.
Yeah.
Here's a guy who wants it, I mean,
He
really,
is a
he's
gamer.
like, I don't care. I can break my ankle right now, and I'm still
care.
going for it.
We're going for it.
You said you were watching interviews with him, Dad, and you're just like, this guy will play through it.
Yeah, this week, I just, you can kind of tell with some of these athletes, whether the moment is too big, they got big eyes, they're kind of leaning back. Mahomes is like, he's leaning in, he's got that look on his face like,
yeah,
I need this, and he just made up his mind. They're going to win this, so.
And you got to love it. I'm with you.
Yeah.
There's just people like that,
Yeah, he's one of them.
The mic'd up when Reed was trying to send him to get an X-ray during the Jaguars divisional game.
Oh, yeah.
Mahomes, that was not for show. He was genuinely pissed.
Oh, yeah.
No, I'm going back in the game. And Reed had to talk to him 6 times.
Yeah.
Yeah, they needed to X-ray it. I don't know. He likes to play. That's it.
Yeah.
You don't find guys like that very often that have the physical capability and the mental capability. It's just amazing. And he loves the game.
And it's one of the secrets to the Chiefs. The team takes on the personality of the quarterback. That happens.
Yeah.
So let's talk Eagles. Let's talk Jalen Hurts. We got an injury to discuss over here, which is the shoulder. Go ahead, Dad.
I'm going over on the rush yards.
Yeah. Jalen Hurts, 45.5 rush yards are going over.
I'm going over.
Really? Even with the shoulder?
Even with the shoulder.
Man,
yeah.
He hasn't done that yet in the playoffs. 13 yards against the Giants, 39 against the 49ers.
Yeah.
I just think they're gonna run and pass. I mean, it's going to be run, and they're just going to throw it over the top. And they're going to go Al Davis on this thing, and Hurts will have a lot of yards.
Yeah. I think he'll run more. He hasn't needed to run.
He hasn't.
Who've they played?
They blew the crap out of the Giants and the Niners. I mean, he didn't need to run in either of those games.
Niners were totally incapacitated. Yeah.
I can see them calling his number early just to get him hit. To see how it feels, just do those read options and just go up there and take Chris Jones right in the belly and, and then just see how it feels from there.
That's not a guy you want to take in the belly. Chris Jones.
That's why I'm not a football coach.
We'd like to run our highest MVP candidate right into Chris Jones.
Perfect. First play.
Get him ready.
That's my call.
He's just instantly
QB draw right at the defensive tackle.
He's just instantly hurt, and the coach is just looking at you. What the hell is wrong with you?
What are you calling out there? Well, I got a feeling our backup quarterbacks win a Super Bowl. So.
I can see the Chiefs trying the 2 deep safety thing, and Philadelphia will run them out of it. I mean,
Yeah.
I bring up the shoulder a lot because it just doesn't seem like Hurts can do that. You call it the Al Davis thing, but it is true. They have sustained their offense on deep shots,
right?
Not on sustained drives. They're the opposite of Mahomes. Those dinks and dunks, which we really shouldn't call dinks and dunks. Just the very coordinated game that the Chiefs have. The Eagles, they do the RPO and then they go deep. And he has not been hitting those deep shots since he came back for the shoulder.
Yeah, he has been off.
But it's A.J. Brown. It's Devonta Smith. I mean, there's some good receivers out there who can and have bailed out some poor throws.
2 weeks off.
No, 2 weeks off. True. I mean, it's like the ankle and shoulder. Do we know? We don't know.
We don't know.
I'm assuming they're healthier. I mean, just 2 weeks off is a long time in football world. So I'm expecting them to be all right. Don't sleep on Dallas Goedert either.
Yeah.
But, if there's two people that you want to be kind of inaccurate to throwing the ball down the field, I'd put A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith's names in that category. That's who I'd want to be throwing to. I'd love to be throwing to A.J. Brown and be off by 5 yards. He's still going to get it.
He'll get it.
Yeah,
God, he's a massive man. Let's talk him. Let's talk A.J. Brown receiving yards. He's at 70.5 for the over-under.
Wow.
And he has not
even come close to that this postseason.
No, he got 22 yards versus the Giants, 28 yards versus the San Francisco. In fact, he's played in 7 playoff games, 5 with Tennessee. He averages 48 yards per game.
Wow.
He has been kind of a playoff dud, this A.J. Brown.
Yeah.
But is this the game?
Yep. I got him over.
You got him over?
Get that on one play. Yep.
Big ball.
72-yard touchdown to A.J. Brown.
You got this a high-scoring game then, Dan. If you got Mahomes doing this and A.J. Brown going up.
Way over. Yeah.
Yeah? I would love to see that offensive game like you're talking about.
Yeah.
I think they'll take a few shots at him. I hope he actually comes down with them. But yeah, I'm just because of to be different than Dad, I'm going to say no. I'm going to say he doesn't pull it off. Yeah. Somebody else is going to step up. He's going to get catches. Yeah. He's going to get some yards, maybe like 50 or something. Maybe he gets a touchdown. Maybe not, but I don't know. I just don't see him being the guy.
Yeah. You think that's Smith or Goddard or
I like Smith.
Boston Scott?
Oh, probably. There's always some random good Super Bowl player. But I like Goddard. I don't know. There's something about the way the field's opening up in the middle for him. And I'd be trying to hit him. I'd be planning around that. So
I really like
QB drop the middle and then Goddard all day.
Nick Sirianni, if you're listening, there's still time to hire Kirk as a consultant.
That's right.
How about Miles Sanders? Let's talk the run game, the vaunted Eagles run game. His rush yards is set at 55.5.
Okay.
Surprisingly low. I guess that's game script dependent probably too, is probably why that's low. He had 90 against the Giants, 42 against the San Francisco 49ers, but probably could have had more.
Could have, yeah.
If it wasn't garbage time.
I kind of go under with them because they just rotate their running backs so much. It could be Kenneth Gainwell. It could be Boston Scott. I mean, it's just, they're all going to share the yards.
I had to have at least one under here, so I took this as under.
Oh, I was hoping you'd go the pure sweep.
I didn't go the full over
overs.
Here. Yeah. I figure somebody else is going to get the rushing yards, not Sanders.
Yeah. Gainwell's looked good.
He's looked good. Yeah. If I'm the Chiefs or just any team playing the Eagles, I see Miles Sanders out there, I'm expecting a run. Yeah. So, I don't think Sanders has done much in the passing game. So it's kind of they're tipping their hat when they throw him in.
But he can, though. Miles Sanders is a good receiver.
He can.
But they're not using him that way.
He's no Boston Scott.
He's no Boston Scott. Those little guys that get all the fantasy yards drive me crazy.
They drive everybody crazy.
And the 2017 Eagles had Darren Sproles, so why not just keep it going?
Why not?
And Corey Clement. Gainwell is Clement. Scott is Sproles.
Beautiful.
And Sanders is, I guess, Jay Ajayi or something like that. Yeah. So it sounds like we are saying this is more of a pass game for the Eagles. It probably makes sense. It kind of fits with what we said with the Chiefs. the Kansas City secondary is full of rookies.
Yeah.
It is McDuffie. It's that Jalen Watson, Joshua Williams, L'Jarius Sneed, who is their veteran corner, is in his 3rd year.
Yeah.
He did pass through concussion protocol, so he will play. But it's not like Cincinnati blew him out of the water. This secondary is holding up.
Yeah, Chiefs defense has been a little underrated this year.
Yeah. Well, they kind of get hot at the end. They certainly haven't put up the numbers.
No. But all they got to do is just stop them enough times to give Mahomes the ball.
Yeah.
So I like the secondary. They're young, unexperienced. I mean, for some reason, young players in the Super Bowl just don't realize what the magnitude is.
Right.
Ooh.
You know, like it's the older guys that get more nervous.
You don't
They're
know
just
what you don't know.
Yeah, they're like, how many more chances am I going to get? You don't think about that as a rookie. You're like, hey, I made it. I belong here. I'm going to be the best player that ever played. You know, you're just kind of dumb like that. So I like this Chiefs secondary. I thought they did a great job against Burrow. I mean, and they did a great job against Jacksonville as well. So they've been holding their own, and they've been banged up. They just keep going out there, throwing their bodies in the way. It's been impressive. Andy Reid knows how to get himself some good corners.
He does. There's somebody working on staff there who is drafting them well, because rookie corners usually suck.
Yeah.
What about you, Dad? You think Hurts is going to have success against this secondary?
I do. He'll Al Davis him to death. He'll pull him up. He'll pull him up, and then he'll burn him deep. So
we got a rookie on A.J. Brown. We're going for it. That's right. Oh, you're going to put him back on A.J. Brown? We're going for it.
Yeah, if there's any one-on-one with Smith or Brown, Hurts is going to hit him. Well, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Chiefs are Spagnuolo, defensive coordinator. He has held back. Has not been aggressive, but how long can he do this? He's gonna do something, and AJ Brown's gonna go deep.
I don't know what you do. I mean, the vertical is so deadly here. I mean, it's really everybody's vulnerable to that, and then they can run and run. That line is great. What do you pick to stop? You know what I mean?
Spagnuolo's a great coordinator.
He is.
I mean, he's the guy that took down the 07 Patriots.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, like, he knows what he's doing, and he mixes pressures really well. And that's something that Jalen Hurts, that's his weak spot.
This is
quick pressure. Guys coming off the edge untouched, and he just
I think about that
that
wild card game last year against the Buccaneers.
Yeah.
And Jalen Hurts, I mean, he looked like a deer in headlights out there.
Yeah.
Just like he did against LSU when he was on Oklahoma, or against Georgia when he was on Alabama. These are my hatred things of Jalen Hurts, but I have repented. Yeah. I don't think Jalen Hurts sucks anymore, but still, I mean, I don't have to say he's as good as Mahomes.
Look at that team with and without him. I mean, he misses 2 games. They don't do any good. When he's in there, they just fly.
Yeah, that's a good fly, Eagles fly. Right. Yeah. They're 16-1 with him. I mean, that is a good point. Yeah. The offensive line, Dad, you touched on that, but the Eagles offensive line, we did not talk about them enough, but clearly they are a huge part of this. All pros, they got all pro center Jason Kelsey. They've got left tackle Mailata, right tackle Lane Johnson was a first team all pro.
Yeah, their offensive line is awesome.
If they were smart, they'd run it 50 times, just burn up the clock, never let Mahomes on the field. I mean, they're not going to do it, but, they probably could with that line.
Yeah, they could.
Yeah.
Well, that's what they did to the Giants. I mean, they kind of do it the opposite. They throw one bomb, they get a lead, and then they just grind you.
Yeah. Like they know when they got you, and then we're just going to slowly grind you and take away your will and
they
soul.
They do a lot of RPO, which I like. Yep, it's not belly dive. Grandpa Will wouldn't approve, because there could be passing.
What RPO? What the heck is that?
What the heck is that? You're running the ball or not? Just run it.
Doesn't matter if they know what's coming. Just do it.
I'm blitzing the crap out of them. That's what I'm doing. I'm bringing weird, random like zone blitzes and just stuff like that. Just kind of throw looks at him that he hasn't seen.
Because it's mostly Clark and Jones. I don't see anybody else on that defensive line.
That's why you got to bring some odd pressures and just blitz some safeties every now and then.
That makes sense.
You got to mix it up.
The biggest thing against Jalen Hurts on Sunday is Pat Mahomes. The scoreboard will be different.
Yes.
So I like the blitzing thing because Jalen Hurts, just like the defense, has not had to face an offense that's scoring a bunch. How many times did they go 3 and out against the 49ers? They got so many chances.
I know, right?
Or they just kept punting it back, and then defense getting the ball back.
Same with the Giants. I mean, there was really no competition there.
Yeah, give it another go, Jalen. Jason Kelce, of course, brother to Travis Kelce. We have to do the obligatory talk about this.
The Kelce Bowl.
The Kelce Bowl. First of all, I don't find it that impressive. Some people are like saying the numbers, like what are the odds? We had 2 coaches who were brothers coach against each other in 2012.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I get that we're saying this, but it's like, there's something connected here. A family can get to the Super Bowl. It's possible.
And I always assumed it was going to be Peyton and Eli, but it never came out that way.
That would have been so great.
But yeah, I gotta love having, it'd be better if they were like on the field at the same time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're both on offense.
Put Kelce on the defensive line. Stand him up there.
Put Kelce on D end. Edge rush.
Yeah. Chip and Kelce there. That'd be awesome.
This is my pessimistic mind. They have the Jason Kelce and Travis Kelce's mom has already won. And I'm like, well, she's also already lost.
Yeah.
She's already had a son lose the Super Bowl. Just pointing it out.
That's what you
True
get.
that.
Yep. All right, it is time. Unless anyone's got anything else, it's time to pick this game.
Hey-o.
Well, I have something here.
Oh, you do? Okay.
So you can bet on the length of the national anthem. Chris Stapleton, some country singer, Grammy Award winner.
Tennessee
2
whiskey.
minutes and 5 seconds. So...
What's the over-under? Is it 205? That's the...
Minus 150. Yeah, 205 is the line.
Okay.
Minus 150. So you bet 100, you get 115, right? So...
Man, this is the guy who drug out Tennessee whiskey to a slow tempo. Yeah. Smooth. Bow. Like Tennessee whiskey.
Yeah.
I think it's over. Yeah. Over 205.
I'm going to go over.
It's going to be a slow one.
Yeah.
But it would be awesome if he just had a nice, speedy up kind of country.
Don't you love when you watch the Bears? The Bears always have some guy who comes out, oh, say does the Star Spangled Banner. I love that.
Busting it out. Yeah.
That was good.
I think it's going to be slow, though. All
right.
What can you not bet on? I mean, it's like everything. You
have other bets there for us?
How many? Yeah. Well, the color of the Gatorade was there.
Ooh.
I mean, what would you, orange, green, blue, or yellow? What do you think?
Ooh, as like the bath at the end, or what?
Yeah.
I'm going. I like fruit punch red.
I like yellow. Classic yellow.
Okay.
I'm going blue.
Okay.
I'm going to go blue.
All right.
But,
we'll circle back to this.
Yeah,
that's a good
bet.
They were like Rihanna's shoes and hair.
Yeah. Do you have more there?
No, I don't.
Okay, that's a good one.
Could have had. How many times did Travis Kelce pick his nose?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know.
You can truly
bet me over.
You can truly bet whatever you want.
I love it,
including the game.
But it's just not as fun.
Yeah, let's. This game's basically a pick 'em. It's moved. The line's moved a little bit. I think it's like 1.5 Eagles right now. I think it's kind of different in different places, but we basically just need to pick this game: Eagles or Chiefs. Kirk, let's start with you.
It seems like most people are leaning Eagles. At least that's kind of
their favorite.
The commentary has been doing, and I'm just a Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid believer. I think the Chiefs pull this out. I think they got the experience, and I think that actually is something. Some people say it's nothing, but I think it's something. And I think Mahomes' ankle is a little more rested. And like I was saying about their corners, they're too stupid to know where they are. So that's good for them.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's a classic Kirk.
That's my reason. But yeah, I think when this is a shootout and then the Eagles actually have to be playing in the fourth quarter, I think they're going to show their true colors, and then the Chiefs are going to do what the Chiefs do. They're going to finish it out.
Okay. Dad?
I don't know. I just went through all the position groups on both teams, and it looks like Philadelphia just came out with one better. So it really comes down to, like you said earlier, Kirk, the trenches. And that Philadelphia offensive line is great, and that defensive line getting all those sacks, pretty impressive. I don't know.
Yeah, that does scare me.
It's going to be close. I mean, I'm actually rooting for Reed and Mahomes. I love those guys, but I don't know. This is a tough game for them, you know. Plus, I mean, the turnover differential all season has been not in Kansas City's favor, so they're probably going to turn it over. I don't know.
A couple of big turnovers.
Yeah, maybe one too many. So
the Eagles haven't played anybody. Get them out of here.
I guess I'll have to tie break it
that
here.
is a good point, Kirk.
Yeah.
You know, I looked at the schedule, and I don't know why I didn't see that. I just
It's the thing missing sometimes in the stats.
Yeah.
You know, the DVOA does a good job talking about it. Like they kind of try to calibrate for quality of opponent.
Okay.
And the Eagles definitely have still a good DVOA, but I think they're like second easiest on defense.
Yeah.
I know that they were second easiest. I don't know why I said that.
They played Minnesota earlier in the season, Kirk. No big deal.
Yeah, week 2.
Yeah, no big deal.
Not a big deal.
It was a good game for the Eagles.
The Vikings lost to the Giants.
Have you considered week 2, Kirk?
That's a long time ago. But
Played Green Bay. Not impressed by that one.
That was a hobbled Green Bay.
but a little bit better of a win. But
Yeah,
I mean,
Wasn't that the Jordan Love game?
Rogers got hurt.
Yeah, got hurt in
in
that
the
game.
third quarter.
yeah. I don't know.
They played the Giants a million times. That didn't matter.
I mean, if this game's close, I think
Our dismissal of the Giants has been hilarious.
they're not good.
if the game's close, I go Chiefs. They got the advantage. But if the Eagles can get a lead, then they can play the way they want to keep playing. Then they'll take it. But
I've watched every Super Bowl. This is the one that's got me the most mystified. I don't know.
I'll give it
It's
to you.
a tough one.
The trenches goes to the Eagles, and usually that's what determines a Super Bowl.
That's what scares me. My head says Eagles because of the trenches.
Yeah.
Like Dad talked about the offensive line, also the defensive line.
Yeah.
They kind of win both those matchups.
Yeah.
But I mean, really, the integrity components of Pat Mahomes' ankle and Jalen Hurts' shoulder probably matter if this game is close.
Yeah.
And we don't know. I don't have an interview with them. Those tendons and ligaments and blood cells pumping through there. If we could get that interview, that'd be such a catch for the podcast.
We need to talk to the rehab doctor.
Yeah.
Talk to the rehab.
Bring them in.
I'm gonna go Chiefs. My heart says Chiefs because it's Pat Mahomes. Because I've never truly believed in Jalen Hurts, and because if he wins this Super Bowl, then I will believe. But I mean, I rooted for Jalen Hurts in the NFC Championship because of 49ers, so I could feel my frustration with how hard it was for them to move the ball.
Yeah.
It was I know 49ers defense is good, but it didn't have to be that hard. It certainly wasn't dominating like they're saying it is now. So I'm going Chiefs.
All right. We're going Chiefs. Dad's going to smoke us. Dad's got the experience picking this. So,
all right. Last thing, and we only got 4 minutes here. Last thing, who's the Super Bowl MVP?
MVP's going to Mahomes.
Mahomes for me too. If the Chiefs win, it's going to be Mahomes.
I'd love to see it be Kelsey. Though, but
since I picked Philadelphia, I'm saying Hurts. He gets at least one running TD, one passing TD, and that's enough. So yeah.
I'm going to go with Kelsey. I'll switch it up. I'll say Kelsey because I just want to have him have the microphone at the end.
To
say something.
What's something you want to?
Dude's got no filter.
What's something you want to see?
What I want to see is a high scoring game.
Okay.
I want to see this thing, both teams in the 30s.
Yeah.
That's what I want.
I don't think there's going to be a lot of punts. That's my opinion. Kind of like that. What was that game? New England, Philadelphia.
Yeah.
I don't think they punted, did they, or once or something?
If they did, that was the highest yards. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like amazing. I'm thinking we're going to have one of those. So
still one of Brady's best games is that Super Bowl loss.
I know
against the Eagles.
I know, right?
So that was an amazing game. It was over just like that. I was just so into it. It was like, wow, what a game, So
that was a good one.
I want big plays. I want touchdowns. I want
Philly specials
celebrations
on both sides.
Yeah.
That Andy Reid running the Philly special against Philadelphia, just chaos.
Beautiful. Yeah.
Mahomes, gets like a triple reverse pass back to him, and he limps into the end zone.
Yeah.
One-handed snag on the sideline.
That's what I want to see.
Gets the toes down.
Chad Henne throws it to Mahomes.
And another thing I want to see is I always love seeing a field goal kicker shank it. I always
Two good
love
kickers.
It.
Two good kickers.
It's in Arizona. Kickers have trouble in Arizona, so I'm expecting over under on missed field goals. I'm saying 2.
Yeah. Arizona's was Arizona the helmet catch? I think Arizona was the helmet catch, and it was, of course, the Butler interception. Yes, it was.
Good Super Bowls in Arizona.
Yeah. As a neutral fan, I wish that I would have gotten to watch that Seahawks-Patriots Super Bowl.
As a
we have a
different
barn
fan.
series about that where we talked about it for like an hour 40.
Oh, yeah.
And argued about the final play call.
It's still such a sore subject. God.
Painful.
And God, Arizona, yeah. Good games that are happening there. All right. Well, we have made our picks. We have thoroughly reviewed the game. We will see how wrong we are on Sunday.
Go bet the over, folks.
All right.
All right.
Good
Thanks.
chatting with you guys.
Thanks for tuning in, and good night.